Hey folks, this is Coloring Chemist. My name is Connie, and welcome back to my channel. So, as you might have seen in the thumbnail for this video, I do have a fairly large stack of books this month for my completed pages video. Now, before anyone gets too excited, before I convince myself that I did more than I did, a fair number of these are whips. I was kind of in a just completing background kind of zone this month. I'm not sure why. So July 2024, I did a lot of backgrounds, and they're not finished backgrounds, they're not terribly exciting backgrounds, but they're backgrounds. So I thought that I would, bring you along, show you the whips, and then I'll end the video with the, as we go through this pile, you'll sort of see the pictures get more and more completed, and then we'll end the video with some pictures that I did actually complete this month. So I'm going to slide this off the side. Make some room for books here. So the first few books, and the little tags on the spines are because I'm moving some books around on my shelves and trying to keep track of things, so you can ignore those. The first few books, literally all I did was I wanted to try the Zig Art and Graphic Twin. So I'm going to show, hopefully you can see this. Because some folks were asking about this pen, and I think they were maybe looking for a different pen. I think maybe they were confused as to which pen I was talking about. This is, I don't know if it's a magic pen, but it's pretty cool. So this Zig Art and Graphic Twin is what I've been using for a lot of black backgrounds. It is water-based, it's dye ink, but for some reason it just gives kind of very streak-free black backgrounds. It is very juicy, so it does soak through some paper, but in other double-sided books I can get away with using this and I don't have to sacrifice the back side, which I would have to do if I was using an alcohol marker. So I just wanted to see how this worked on different papers. I released a video not too long ago just talking about, it was called An Apology and Some Talk About Paper or something like that. There's so many different papers in our different coloring books, and even books that we assume are the same may not be because they are printed and come from different countries. And so, yeah, paper is an important thing. So this is Lottie Ford, Color of the Forest, Bolton, Ontario. So this is an Amazon print book from Canada. And I just wanted to see, what would that black marker do for a background in here? And I will say, here's something I did learn this month. Because I order those open stock through Marker Supply online. It's markersupply.com. Because otherwise you have to buy them in sets. And I do have a full set, but I tend to just use the black a lot. So I ordered like a whole big bunch of blacks. And I think I went through 2 of them this month just by doing backgrounds. Because here's what I discovered. And you guys, I probably already knew this, but I didn't think about it. I wasn't thinking. Amazon print paper, rougher paper, absorbs so much ink. So here's what I was doing. So here's the picture that I did a black background for. And I can show you, because I think there's always doubles. So there was the original. And I did a black background. This sucked up so much ink. I kind of regret now using that marker. It actually didn't crinkle the paper that much, although this book's been closed for a while now and just been sitting there. It's a little bit crinkly in the middle, but I mean, you can see how much it bled through. Now, I didn't care because this is a single side book, and I know on Amazon paper it is going to bleed through, but I was just surprised at how much ink it sucked in. I did have to kind of go over areas more so than I have in other books to get that sort of streak-free kind of black background. But, yeah. So, if you are going to use these pens on Amazon paper, that black pen, that Zig Art and Graphic Twin. Just be prepared. It's going to use up a lot of ink, so you should probably have some extras tucked in your stash. But yeah, so I'm excited. I don't know what I'm going to use to color that. My beloved Pitt pens and the Stettler pens, they don't do great on Amazon paper. I like polychrome or Prismacolor pencils. Holbein pencils are good on Amazon print paper, so maybe one of those. But yeah, it was more just I just wanted to. So I mean, that's all I did in that page was I just colored the background black. I did the same thing on a page in Alien Worlds. Now this is the UK edition, and I wanted to see what that pen would do on UK Kirby Rosanis paper. So I decided to, do this one. And I mean, it's great. It almost gives, I think somebody in the comments said it almost looks like black velvet. It really does. And so, I mean, a lot to color on this double page spread, but I just wanted to see how it would do. And there's a few areas where, I don't know if you can see that or not. Maybe I can zoom in just to show you. Can you see right there? It's speckling. It's like, but I mean, it's pretty faint. And depending on what I was doing for background on this page, I mean, I think I could pretty easily cover that up. But, you know, just so you know, excuse me, this paper, I wouldn't say it bled through. I wouldn't even really say it ghosted. It was just like this weird kind of speckling, and I can almost feel maybe I just went over that area a couple times more than other areas because it almost feels like a little bit rougher. Oh, sorry. You can't see what I'm doing because I forgot to zoom back out. Yeah, so it feels, I don't know, like a little bit rougher. So it could just be that I went over that area maybe multiple times and I didn't the other areas. But I think on the whole, you know, the good smooth paper, that pen just gives really, really great backgrounds. This is not a black background. This was me playing around with, was it acrylic? I think it was acrylic paint pens. And I just wanted to see if I could get them to, I don't know, blend, and not really even blend, but just give me like a fairly smooth background. And I don't know, maybe on camera it looks okay. Looking at it in front of me, it doesn't. So this was, I think it's the Art Pastel set, and it was the medium, so the sort of round fiber nib. And they're fairly juicy. I thought maybe enough ink would come out, acrylic paint or ink would come out that I could get away with doing a background, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to go over that with something, I think. Just, yeah. Oh, I know why else. I had, for those of you Canadians out there, you might understand this. I'd been eating cheesies. Cheesies are a Canadian snack food that are sort of like Cheetos, but not. I can't explain that. They're not poofy. Well, but they sort of are. I don't know. But it's the same kind of orange cheese. You know what I mean? And so I had some of my fingers and I thought I'd gotten it off. And so I got some cheesy on this background. And it wouldn't come off. So I did need to use something opaque to cover the cheesy. It's too bad I didn't get it on the pumpkin. That would have worked, but I didn't. So that was another reason I thought, well, I'll use these acrylic paint pens because they cover up the cheesy. But I don't know. They didn't do what I really wanted them to. So I'll have to figure out something for that. Yeah. Maybe, what can I put in the background? I could paint over it with like a glitter pen. Glitter covers up a magnitude of mistakes. Stjornfall, Maria Trolla. I was playing around with my granulating watercolor paints, and so I thought I would just do a background in here. It's okay. I actually went over the leaves. To go in and around them, because there are actually leaves on those trees. I don't know if you can see that or not. See that there? So I will have to go back in and there's flowers in there. There's a shooting star, a moon. I just went over everything except, the stuff here at the bottom. It sort of granulated. I made the page quite wibbly. To get that granulation effect, you need a fair amount of water. And so, the pages, again, it's been in this book and it's been closed for a while, so it's flattened out. And I could iron it too. But, excuse me. It's not as granulating as some others. But that could just be user error. Maybe I'm just using them wrong. But I think I got some. These are the white knights, I think. Because what do I have for granulation paints? I have the white knights. And then I have... I do have some Schminke ones. Oh, that's not it. I have these Ganzai-Tambi, but I don't think... These are all very bright, kind of purpley pink colors. I don't know if I have any dark... Oh, yeah, I do, too. Oh, that's right. No, forgive me. This wasn't the White Knights. This was the Schminke ones, because I think it was sort of a combination of Haze Indigo and Haze Blue in here. So, yeah, more Haze Indigo, I think. Not a lot of granulation on my swatch there either, but again, I wasn't using that much water. And you're going to get better granulation on watercolor paper, and this is just in a book, so that's right. That's what it was. So, yeah, just a background there that I can, play around with later and do whatever I want with the image. And yeah, so then I had this one out, and I wanted to play around with some chalk pastels. Now, you may have seen in a recent video that I purchased some chalk pastels from Amazon, because I have a few pan pastels, and I have a set of 72 half sticks with the from Faber-Castell, and I think the Faber-Castell is what I used here. So I just sort of took out like a craft knife and shaved off some powder onto a palette, and then picked it up with like a blending tool and then put it down. I was trying to sort of mimic this, although they were much more pink and I did much more yellow orange. That's okay. So in that recent haul, my July 2024 haul, I did have those soft stick pastels. And I think a viewer mentioned they thought maybe I was mistaken and they were all pastels. They were definitely chalk pastels, definitely, because I felt them and I was touching them. I sent them back because they triggered some sort of allergic reaction. I don't know what was going on, but something in them made my throat just burn and my nasal passage just burn. My eyes were watering, so I sent those back. So, still on the search for another set of chalk pastels. Maybe I might just get more pan pastels and build up my collection, because, they really are... I had to do a lot of layers to even get this much color with those Faber-Castell pastels. And I think if I would have had pan pastels, I would have gotten, and it still looks, again, could be user error. It looks a little blotchy and patchy to me. Maybe I just needed more pastel, I don't know. I haven't fixed this. It's just, I just sort of rubbed it in with a tissue really well. It doesn't really come off. Maybe if I put more product down, I'd get a deeper, richer color. But then I would probably have to spray it or fix it or something. But yeah, again, just playing around with backgrounds. For whatever reason, that's that was what was in my my head this month. So these are now just some whips where I didn't start a background. I just started some elements on the page. This is, sorry, I haven't even been telling you books, have I? Go back here. This is The Mystical Lands of Kelswitch, Karen E. Myers. I really do like her books. I have a fair amount of them. Sternfall we looked at. Botanicum, that was the one where I had to cover up the cheesy with the marker, and then we had Alien Worlds. Yeah. So this is, I think this is, it's Ursula Schwab and somebody else, or just Ursula? Yeah, Cordula Martins and Ursula Schwab. They both have some done in here. So I started this page, and this is with the, there's a combination of, that's all I did, those little leaves. But this was some Pitt pens and some Stettler pens. I just wanted to see what they did on this paper, and I really like them. So I'm definitely going to continue. The larger areas, I'll probably use something else. Or I might just use a Stettler pen or a Pitt pen to base and then do some shading with pencil. We'll see. It's smooth enough paper that I might be able to get away with, you know, no streaking on the larger areas there too. But I just thought it was a nice kind of summary picture. But yeah, that's all I did there. Like I say, this was definitely the month of just do a little bit here, a little bit there. I did complete some stuff too. This is Gabby Wolf Mini Mania, number 2. And I started this. Again, wanted to see, because this is, oh, that's still Bolton, Ontario. So I did a few black backgrounds here. Again, sucked up a lot of ink. And believe it or not, Connie was using pencils. So this is Prismacolor. So I did that little flower. Zoom in, because I think it's the only completed image on the page. And so I just did some really kind of muted Prismacolor colors there. So the lighting's not great here, is it? I have all my lights on too. And then I just did some Prismacolor backgrounds, just different blues. So I had a bunch of them just sort of pulled. I think I still have them off to the side here. And then I was going over all of the line work with the Prisma cream. I don't do a lot of that. In fact, I find lately I've been actually going the opposite way, and you'll see that in another whip that I show you a little bit later. Yeah, I've never been much for coloring up, or covering up the line work. But I do like it when the line work is a little bit blurred, which I find the Prismacolor cream was doing that for me. So that's kind of cool. I did have a super golden marker out, and so the center of that flower, the center of those flowers, those little flower and the bug. I mean, it's just, I don't know if you can see that. You probably, well, the Prismacolor shines too, but there's a little bit of gold. The flower centers there. And yeah, that's as far as I got with that. I probably will finish this, and probably with Prismacolor. Matchstick Mouse, the summer book. This one, oh sorry, there's a glare there, also sucked up a lot of my black ink. And I don't know that I'll ever do this again, but once you start, you kind of have to keep going. And I don't remember, I might have done the leaves and stuff a while ago. And I'm not sure if that's Prisma or Holbein. It's one of them. And then I thought, I'm going to color all of this black, because then I'm going to do the, you know, the Firefly effect, because it's like a campfire and it's summer, right? So I thought, well, I'm going to do all this black so that I can do the Firefly. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's black. But this was actually 2 coats of that, the Zig marker. And I mean, I used a lot of ink to do this. Yeah, that's still Bolton, Ontario. I don't know that I would do that again. But I mean, that's pretty impressive that a watercolor marker can give that matte and solid of a black background on Amazon paper to the point where, I mean, if I stick my nose up really close, maybe I can see a few little streaks. But yeah, it really does look like black velvet. I mean, that's pretty impressive. So I will, when I complete this, maybe in August, we'll do our Firefly effect with the gel pens and the pastel pencils. So that'll be neat. But now, okay, so here's my problem. This black was printed, right? Because it was a nighttime scene. This black is much blacker than that black. So do I continue this black in and color over this black with the Zig pen, or do I leave this as printed black so that this, because if I do that, the top of the circle, the definition is going to, because then where would these branches be coming from? You know what I mean? Like if I leave it like this, you still get that sense, you know, that there's a dividing line between this black and that black. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not sure what to do there. So I left it because I thought, well, I'll think about it and I'll worry about that later. So between this and the Lottie Ford picture, I think, and then there was some others too. I think I went through 2 of those pens, which is good because I think I bought 10 of them or something the last time I ordered from Marker Supply, just because it was just easier to have a big supply. These little tabs are driving me nuts. Hopefully I can take them off soon. I wanted to see, so in addition to playing around with backgrounds, I also was trying out the new Stettler colors in just a variety of books. And in particular, what have I got here? The new blues. There is Hazy Blue and Delft Blue. I thought were just, and then I paired them up with 220 Light Indigo. And if I wanted even darker, the Pitt Pen Indent 3 in Blue 247. I just thought, you know, in terms of sort of 4, kind of a blending, it's not a blending trio, it's 4 of them, but I thought that would be a great, if I want to do sort of, you know, based on the cover, taking inspiration from that, these would be, you know, a great set of blues to do some blending. So I started on the, and I had my list there of some other colors I was going to use. Started on the title page, and it was not going well. I was really fighting this paper. I mean, it's rough. I can feel it's rough. It feels smooth, but it's not. It's not smooth so that these pens are happy, put it that way. So I did a little bit, I did a leaf, tried to do some gold up here, and it just was not a fun experience at all. So I thought, well, I do want to try and use, I mean, I could go to pencil in here, but I want to try and use these Pitt pens and the Stettler pens in here. So I thought, well, what if I treat a page with satin glazing liquid and then try and use Pitt pens? What will that do? So that's what I did. So then I went to this page here and I treated the whole page with some satin glazing liquid. Now, it does curl the page up a bit, which is fine. I think I mean, it's certainly not peeling up the paper, but it's almost hard to control the blend. It almost blends too well, so that when you're trying to still maintain areas of highlight and shadow, I was almost, like, I don't know if you can see, or I'll kind of come in. The flower, I went back over the inner areas to try and get a little bit more dark, because the dark just basically all mixed in with the light, and the flower was all one color. But now I'm not sure I like what's going on there. This berry, I basically lost any kind of highlight area I had. And then, so I did some berries there. That probably shouldn't have been a berry, but oh well. By the time I got down here, instead of, because usually when I'm using these pens to sort of blend out, you know, I'll take the lightest and kind of be pulling the darker color. I was literally almost just tapping this to try and get a blended line, because if I did any kind of strokes to pull, it would just meld all the colors. So it was almost blending too well now. So I don't know. I don't know what I will do. I will probably finish both these pages. Well, maybe not this one. It's hard to say. But I will finish this one. And I probably will finish it with Pitt pens. I mean, the paper in here is nice and super thick. It just wasn't super happy about these pens. Didn't seem to be anyway. I don't think this cover page is different paper. Doesn't feel like it. I might try another page, and instead of treating it with satin glazing liquid, I might take it outside and give it a spray of workable fixative instead, to see what kind of surface that gives for blending. So that might be something. But yeah, just a trial here. So we shall see. This one I'm quite enjoying, and I kind of had hoped that I would have it finished for the end of July. But today, when am I filming this? I'm filming this fairly late at night on July 30th, and I'm hoping to post it tomorrow, so I'm guessing not. This is, what is this? Nightfall? No, maybe. Forgive me. I didn't have this translated, and I don't have Maria, her Swedish titles memorized. Sorry about that. So I've been doing this one. Now, I like the colors, but then I started to do something, and I'm gonna let you look at it for a minute, see if you can figure out what I started to do. And I don't think I like it, but now I have to do it because you can't undo it. Can you see what I started to look at this half of the page compared to this half? See what I started to do? I don't know why. And this is, remember I said earlier, I don't often white out illustration lines. In fact, I've sort of been on a bend of doing the opposite. I took a black Prismacolor and I basically put a black shadow outline around everything. And don't get me wrong, it definitely makes things pop up off the page, right? Because if you look at, there we go. Thought I couldn't zoom back out. If you look at, say, these leaves versus these pop up off the page more than these. Maybe once it's all done, and I didn't even finish coloring the image before I started doing this. I don't know why. It was just all over the place. Maybe once it's all done, I'll be okay. I kind of wish I hadn't started, but like I say, you can't kind of undo that. Not at this point, anyway. So that's, yeah. This is all Pitt pens. Well, okay, except for the black Prismacolor. But, oh, and the white flowers are white gel pen. But, yeah, all this is all just Prisma and or Stettler pens. The background was another one of these, I think it's Shire Blue. Maybe mixed in with a little Shire Olive. But this Shire Blue, if you're looking for, I don't know, that's a beautiful, beautiful, stunning color. And it's again, the Schmincke Super Granulation paints. But actually all the Shire colors are pretty. Well, I think I have 3. Do I have 3? Yeah, there's 5 in each set. There's a Shire Green and a Shire something else. But I have Shire Blue, Shire Olive, and Shire Yellow. I was just buying them open stock through Jackson's, I think, Jackson's Art. But the Shire Blue is a beautiful color. That's the background here. And I don't know how much granulation you can see. I can see some. I don't know how much the camera's picking up. And the lighting here is kind of terrible, but kind of up in there, you've got like a greeny blue, a little bit of granulation. I just thought it was super pretty. And then I thought doing like an orangey kind of peachy rose along with the foxgloves. And then maybe I'll put, I don't know if I'll do anything else in the background. Like a bokeh effect maybe? Don't know. But yeah, I really wishing I hadn't have started this whole this whole business with the black. I like doing it. I think it's a cool effect, but I don't know that it suits this page. I think this page would have been better off being kept soft. Yeah, I don't know. Oh well. And this was the color along that is not to be. So remember I said I was going to do this color along in here, and I did start it. And I don't know that I got any further than when I showed you guys last time. I don't think so. Did I? No, I don't think so. So yeah, I need to, I think I did all the greenery. Did I do all the greenery? I think I did. And so now I just need to do all the other bits. I need to do all the gold, the antique gold work in here. And then the flowers, and then the butterflies, and things like that. And then again, probably do maybe kind of the Firefly effect around the outside. I was thinking that here. So this took a lot of, yeah, a fair amount of black Zig Art and graphic pen too. And I did do some sparkle on there already. I don't know if you can see it or not, because I wanted to do like an iridescent effect on some of the bug's wings. But I probably should have left that till the end, because it's kind of rubbing off and it's kind of going all over the page. And I put a little bit of diamond stickles on the diamonds. I don't know if anybody can see that or not. But I think it's going to be a nice page when it's done. I'm not sure what colors to use. You know what I mean? Like, I've just sort of done green and gold so far, but we shall see. So that, I think, I was just looking here. I think that's, oh no, there is one more whip, but it's also in a book that has a completed page. So that's a lot of whips. 32 minutes of whips. I like this book so much. Thank you, Maya, for showing this book on your channel and talking about, you know, this kind of a, just a whole book whip idea. I do like that. So I've been doing some of that in here. I think I showed you this before, maybe in a previous month. I just used one of those metallic acrylic brush pens and just did the water, and that was it. And then I did, oh, here's more black. I did a black background on this one. Again, Zig Art and graphics. So you can see why I went through. They're good pens, and they do last a long time. But I did a lot of black this month. And on that Amazon paper, ooh, that just sucks in the ink. So yeah, I did a black background. That's it. It did kind of the same thing that it did in the Kirby book. It almost looks kind of speckly. I don't think this page is ruined. I think it can be easily covered up. But if you were, you know, I can't say it's perfect. I can't say it didn't go through it all. So there's a whip. I don't even know if that's worthy of being called a whip, but. And then I did complete a page in here earlier in the month, and it was this one. And I think I mentioned in a previous video, I am not a fan of summer. I don't like the heat. I just don't. I don't like the bugs. I live in an area where there's just so many biting insects. And it's not even like although I wouldn't want to live, you folks in Australia and in the desert where you've got like scorpions and giant spiders, I don't know how you do it. I can't say I would want those instead, but I mean, we have like the mosquitoes and the no-see-ums and the black flies, and it's just, yeah, this year's really bad. So I'm looking for fall. I love autumn. I love fall. I love the cooler temperatures. The bugs die. And we get, you know, not as pretty as, say, the East Coast, you know, Maine and Vermont and those kind of places. But we do get some pretty foliage here. And so you can tell my color choices here. I'm looking for fall, but yeah, I used acrylic brush pens. It's flat coloring. I don't think I did any shading, really. No, I don't think I did. But there's some acrylic brush pens. I think the blue in the background here was maybe a Pitt pen. I don't know. It's probably whatever I grab. Yeah, it looks like some of the coloring in here. So some of the brush pens I was using are metallic. So I don't know if you can see certain areas there. There's a shine. In certain other areas, there's not. The ladybugs down there, I think there's some glaze pen on those. On the little caterpillar, some glaze pen. A little bit of glaze pen on the... I made it a cardinal, just because I like cardinals. There's some matte acrylic brush pens on the rocks. I made them sort of various, just something, and some of them are shiny, some of them there's like a silver. I just went to town, didn't worry about shading, didn't worry about any of that kind of stuff, because sometimes it's just fun. It's just fun to color. And this book is it lends itself so well to that, because I mean, look at this. It's not like these trees are realistic, right? Does it matter? And what even are these? Are they bushes? What are they? So this book is fabulous for that. You know, you just have fun. Yeah. So I'm really liking this book. So there's one completed page in Garden Enchantments. And then, you know me, I always got to stick a few mandalas in there. So this is Camellia Angelikova, 50 Stylish Mandalas. And I've done a fair number in here. Just sort of started working at the beginning and have just sort of kept going. So that's cool. So I did this one. And just peaches and teals. This is actually red. It's like a coral. This is usually in these books, I will do sort of a background of alcohol marker and then usually glitter gel pens, or sometimes glitter gel pens mixed in with, like, looks to me like there's some moonlight, like matte gel pens in there as well. You can see the glitter shine there. You can see on the back where I've done the alcohol marker. I think that was the Spectrum Noir, like those tri-blend markers, and this was like one of the coral red blends or something like that. And I don't even really worry about shading or blending. Like, I just use the different shades of what's in the marker in different areas, just because then it, you know, they're not going to clash because they're all the same color family. But yeah, so some lighter reds, peachy reds. I was trying to throw a little bit of white gel pen in there, so the outlining here that you see is white. It's not just left white. I use a white Signo Broad, just because I think it looks neat when you leave a little bit of white in your mandalas. And then I did this one. Again, same idea. Alcohol marker in certain places. Actually, these alcohol markers were so juicy, when I opened it, it kind of splooted. And I couldn't really cover that up, so there's a little bit of purple there that shouldn't be there. And yeah, just greens and purples and whites. There's a little bit of like blue-green in there as well, I think, kind of in there. So yeah, I just like doing mandalas. I know a lot of people don't, but I find them very relaxing. You don't have to worry about shade. I don't anyway. Don't worry about shading. Play with colors, different color combinations. So yeah, quite a few done in this book. Maybe even, yeah, it could be about halfway. So it's kind of cool. I have this book. I'm not sure why I bought. Well, I bought this book because I thought it was a neat idea. But in reality, it doesn't work as well as you think it will. So this is Posh Secret Garden Glitter, and they made other books like this as well. And I don't know if you can see on the cover there. So the word glitter and then the bird. What they've done on, this isn't the page I did, but what they've done on the pages, certain areas, it's like a plastic coating that they put in certain areas, and then they've put glitter into the plastic coating, if that makes sense. So the pages are pre-glittered in some. Here, I'll show you. Like, here's a page that, can you see? Some areas are like pre-glittered, like these, right? And then the rest of the page isn't. Let's see. Centers of the flowers there, and some other smaller flowers are pre-glittered. The rest of the page isn't. And it seems like a really cool concept. There's some really nice fall ones in here. And like you can see under my lights, it looks really cool. The trouble is, pencils don't really work, because pencils, in order to stick to this plastic, the pencil would have to be really soft and sticky, like a Prismacolor maybe. But Prismas are kind of opaque, so then you wouldn't see the glitter, right? You would be covering up the glitteriness. Water-based markers just beat up on it, right? They just don't, it doesn't work. And so you're really left with alcohol markers. And even alcohol markers, I don't know if you can see on this one, they do this strange, almost kind of sticky beading thing on here as well. So I've tried, and this was like a test page for me, I was trying like Sharpies and Bic markers and just to see what worked. So I thought, well, I'm going to, and I did this one in the past. Again, there's like this weird beading thing that happens. So I thought, well, I'll try this. So I did this one. The color choices are bizarre. I was just trying to use, what markers was I even using? They had to have been alcohol markers. Thinking, oh no, maybe they weren't. You know what I was trying? I was trying the Stettler pigment pens, because I just wanted to see if they would work. And you know what? They did okay. Better than other water-based markers I've tried on here. Yeah, that's what I was doing. That's right. So, there you go. You can see it's the pre-glittered in certain places. And I was kind of using colors that I don't often use in other pages. I don't know, just cause. So I don't often, use bright oranges or bright pinks. I just don't. And then the background, I think, is the background shimmery? I don't think it is. So the background, I think, is chalk pastel. Maybe one of those Jane Davenport ones, the palette pastel sets. Chilled, I think it's called, I have. And, yeah, the color choice is really bad. I just wanted to try out those markers just to see what they would do on top. And you know what? They did not bad, but they still do kind of a weird splotchy thing. So I don't know what to do with this book. The pictures look so neat, and the glitter is almost like iridescent multicolor before you color over it. But then when you color over it, I don't know, it kind of loses some of that iridescent glitteriness. It's almost like it looks better not colored. I don't know. It's almost like a multicolored rainbow glitter before you color over it. But then once you color over it, it kind of goes away. So I really don't know what to do with this book. I'm not going to chuck it. I'm not going to give it away. I'll keep it. But whether I do more work in it, I don't know. We'll see. I did a picture in Daydreams. I've been trying really hard in June and July, which are my summer months. For those of you that don't know, I am a chemistry teacher, and so my courses will be starting up actually in a couple weeks, so my coloring volume might go down. So June and July, I've been trying to work in untouched books a lot. Now, not all of the books that I did work in this month were untouched, but I think a lot of them were. And this was one of them. I love Angela Porter. I love the tiny details. My favorite book of hers is the one, it's Enchanted Landscapes? Insanely Intricate, I think it's called. I love that book. But those pages take forever. But I hadn't done any in Daydreams, and I'd gotten it this past spring, so I wanted to do a page. So that's what I did. Again, can you see the fall colors coming in here a bit? Just a bit. Lots of glitter gel pen and metallic gel pen on there, and I think there's some glaze pen. Just, again, one of those books where I don't worry about shading, I don't worry about anything like that. I just put pen to paper and color. So that was fun. But I do like her books. I mean, this one is fairly detailed anyway, but it's nothing compared to that insanely intricate one. I'll have to get back to that one. So that's the page in Daydreams. 3 more. This was a book that I'd recently purchased and hadn't done a picture in. This is Kawaii Mandala coloring book, Nanny Banani. And so I did that one. I'm not sure about my color choices. I guess they're okay. You can see that. Hopefully the lighting's okay. I did a tiny little bit of shading, like just on the flower petals, but I didn't worry about... I mean, the other elements were so tiny, I kind of didn't worry about it too much. There's a little bit of glitter on there. I tried to make the fairy's wings kind of iridescent multicolor with some glitter. There's some little bit of glaze pen and in a few places. Star in the middle, sparkly. This just strikes me as one of those kind of fun, oh, the little teeny ladybugs there, a little bit of glaze pen. It's just another one of those fun books. You can kind of throw a bunch of different things at it, and it's just fun. So I'm definitely hoping to do more in this book too. What was this one called? Wonderful Wee Folk. These are perforated. I did find that as I was working on this, like there's a little tear at the bottom there. The perforation was kind of getting looser and looser. So yeah, I just, if you're working in this book, I don't think I'm going to worry about, well, maybe, I don't know. I didn't worry about a background for this one because there was all these tiny little dots and everything, and I just sort of left it. Look, the little oak leaves, a little bit of fall color there. But yeah, the perforations here are very, I'm sure they would tear very easily, but they also mean that the pages start to get a little loose in there. So yeah, just be aware, be careful of that. And then these last 2 are probably the ones where I did kind of the most work in terms of just, it was a serious coloring picture as opposed, oh, you know what? I also forgot. I did some black background in here on both sides of this page. So there was some more black ink. But the page that I completed in here, and I think I may have even shown you this a bit, maybe in the odds and ends video for this month, for these 2. It's not really a double page spread, but look at the background. Isn't that awesome? Can you guess what that is? I mean, it's almost like a mirror. I have all of the Neocolor 1 crayons. Now, Neocolor 1 crayons are in this container. They are Caran d'Ache non-water soluble. So they're basically, I mean, they're wax crayons that are just better and more expensive than, Crayola. They have more pigment, and I had originally bought the 30 set, which is right here. They do come in a 40, and so I bought the other 10 open stock and just put them in this little Derwent tin. And then this is a Lyra tin from some Lyra pencils, and it just worked really well to sort of hold everything. But there's this little set of metallics. And there's 10. And they're Neocolor 1 metallics. And there's some gold, bronze, scarlet pink, violet, phthalo blue, phthalo green, silver, and ash gray. And I hadn't Not that I use my Neocolor 2s that much either. I really should. But I really hadn't been using Neocolor 1s. And I know a lot of people will use the Neocolor 1s to sort of fix up any blotchiness that you get with Neocolor 2s, which that's a great use for them. But I was thinking, what else could I use the Neocolor 1s for? And I thought, well, what if I try them for a background? So I started coloring with them, and I mean, they're crayons. So, I mean, it was kind of streaky, and there was some, white space. So I thought, what if I put down burnishing pressure? So I did. And then, because they're crayons, I mean, they're not as crumbly as cheaper crayons, but there were still, crumbs and stuff. So I took a tissue, just a facial tissue, and I was kind of just wiping, just to get the crumbs off. And I noticed when I rubbed, this is the effect I got. It's like a mirror. Isn't that cool? So yeah, that's Neocolor 1, the metallic set. I tried to do like an ombre here, but I should have had these two flipped. So there is kind of a stark line here, but that's my fault. Because what I did was I had the violet, the phthalo blue, and the phthalo green. And I really should have went violet into blue into green instead of violet into green into blue. So there's a starker line there than I would have hoped. But, and you can sharpen these, right? What do I use to sharpen them? I think I use, it's just this teeny little, I don't even know where it came from. It's a little Stettler eraser, sharpener that I have that has two holes. And it's got a small one for regular pencils, and then it's got a larger one for, I don't know what. But it's got blades, German-made blades that you can replace. And I think they're just kind of standard blades. But the larger hole fits the crayons. So, because somebody asked me, I think in another video, and I'm sorry, there's some comments that I haven't answered yet from my last couple of videos. I'm getting to them, I promise. They asked how I got so close to the fish and how I got so close to the edges here. I just sharpened the crayons, and I made sure when they were sharp, I did, in close to things. And then as they got duller, I worked my way out, because it didn't matter if they were duller out here, right? Inside here is not crayon. This is kind of a blended, kind of an ombre, kind of lighter, the background here lighter, going out to darker. This is Pitt pens. All the coloring here is all Pitt pens, like the oranges and the greens of the seaweed, and that's all Pitt pens. This is all Pitt pens. The white, some of the white flowers are, like I can feel, that one is a white gel pen. That one's a white gel pen. But the other white flowers, I don't think I even color it. I just put, and it's hard to even see because this shines so much, but there is a little bit of sparkle on some of those flowers. It's the Spectrum Noir version of the Wink Stella, the crystal clear, they call it. It doesn't, and there's the super golden markers in the centers of the flowers, but again, because the background is so shiny, I think it's hard to see. There's sparkle on the, I don't know what they are, whatever these little shells or whatever they are. There's some sparkle in there. But again, it's hard to see because everything else is so shiny. But I thought that was a cool background. And then I took my black, and this was another time when I got the black Prismacolor out. And I got this idea from Maya. Maya, thank you. Wonderful inspiration you are. And I went around the outside of these fish, and also the outside of these fish, and the outside of, I think, all the elements here, but not the greenery, not the seaweed, because I wanted the fish and the other elements, the shells and stuff, to pop, and the greenery to kind of go into the background. And then I wanted these fish to pop against this background as well. So, yeah, I just took a black Prismacolor and went around. And that was even after I did this background and sort of polished it. So I had a little bit of trouble sometimes, even with a black Prismacolor, trying to get it to lay down on this, because I mean, this is just slick and shiny. I don't know that anything other than a Prismacolor, maybe a Stabilo, or was it a black Stabilo all? It might have even been if you guys are familiar with, where are my Stabilo wall pencils? There's a white one in a, oh, here's the black one. They are made by Stabilo company, and it says aquarellable, and it just says Stabilo all. And I think the all refers to, they sell these and they say you can write on paper, glass, plastic, metal. They're meant to write on almost anything. They're made in the Czech Republic. They are water soluble, and I think they come in about 10 colors, maybe. I just have the white and the black, but they will write on virtually anything. So I might have actually had to resort to the black Stabilo all, because I think, if I remember correctly, yeah, the black Prismacolor wouldn't stick to this shiny background, but I think the black Stabilo all did. So, yeah. But I thought that was, I just thought that was a really cool effect. It's like a mirror. I don't know if, hopefully you can't see me looking pretty scruffy right now. But yeah, I'll definitely have to try that on something else. But yeah, you just buy this little pack of 10. They're not cheap. I think this pack of 10 is probably about $20. But they're super pigmented. And I did try to see if I could get, I think I might have even have shown that in the odds and ends video, to see if I could get that same look using Crayolas, because you have an old set of metallic Crayolas. And maybe my Crayolas are too old, but it didn't work. They just kind of, when you laid down that much Crayola, they just kind of got blotchy and sticky almost. Whereas with these Neocolor ones, they just sort of kept gliding. You know, even if, because you have to put down like a lot of the crayon. Well, you can see how much I used of the blue and particularly the green, because the green I did the facing page there too. But you can buy these open stock as well, so that's nice. I can just replace colors. But yeah, I tried it with Crayola and it just didn't give that same effect. So it's a neat effect. I like it. And the last page. This was a really cool book. I hadn't done a page in it yet. And this is the Woodland Kingdom coloring book. Toshiyuki Fukuda. I think you can get a Japanese version of this, but you can just get the English version on, I think just on Amazon now, I think that's where I got it. And so I did that page. This is Zig pen in the background, but I don't think it's black because it looks to me, and it did go through, you can see there, but these are single-sided. Well, most of them, yeah, they are single-sided. I think it was the really dark blue. I think it's called Night Blue, or is it this one? No, I don't think so. It doesn't really matter. Deep blue, I think it was. Just because I wanted to try something other than black. And then, yeah. So then I just sort of did the rest of the work with Pitt pens, which acted strangely on this paper. I did some blending, not a whole lot. I did use the black Prisma again to go around the outside of the, the lines in here. Not on everything, not on that, but the big leaf, just to give it a little bit of depth, you know what I mean? Because it is drawn very flat, right? The line work is drawn very flat. I used a bit of black Prisma up here to try and give a little bit of three-dimensional depth, a little bit in there. And then I did my, I don't know if you can see it or not, my little Firefly, except I did colored Fireflies this time. So I used different colors of pastel pencil. Not pastel as in colored pastel, but like chalk pastel pencil. And just drew like a little circle and then took my finger and smudged it out. And then took kind of a coordinating color of Moonlight Jelly Roll gel pens. So whether it be pastel pink or orange or yellow, and just put a dot in the center. So then, I don't know if they're fairy lights. I don't know what they are. But you can see them on the picture there. yeah, it was just fun. It was just a little bit of glaze pen on the butterflies. It was just a fun picture. And that is my last completed page for July 2024. Oh, look, I'm just in an hour. So unless I do any editing, it might get a little bit longer or a little bit shorter. But yeah, August may not be as many pages. Like I say, my courses start up in August, so I'm back to my day job, which, I know a lot of us we wish we could just do this all day long, but we do have day jobs as well. But yeah, I hope to maybe finish off some of those whips I started. I hope to I know I just had a haul. I do keep buying things, but I do want to work in the books that I have. I want to use the supplies that I have, and I just enjoy the possibility. I'm lucky. I have these beautiful supplies and wonderful books, and it's just a lovely hobby, isn't it? Makes me happy, makes me smile. I hope everyone is safe. I hope everyone is well. I hope everyone is enjoying their coloring. If you like what you see in my channel, consider liking the video, subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell, leaving me a comment, and I promise I will finish answering those comments, and or letting friends know that you found a channel that you like and they might like it too. Until next time, folks, take care. Bye-bye.